Mitch Lafon here, inviting you to listen in to my conversation with Saxon's Biff Byford. We talk about all kinds of stuff, including their recent U.S. tour, working with producer Andy Sneap on new music, and so on and so forth. The first 5 minutes of the interview, there was an incredible audio connection problems, and so the phone hung up, and what I'm going to do is we're going to start the interview about 5 minutes in, where he is talking about working with producer Andy Sneap. And for those of you who are completists and want the entire interview, I will put the first 5 minutes at the end. I will do my best to clean it up as much as possible. There are hicks and pops and all kinds of wonderful connection problems. But there you go. So I just wanted to let you know that. And here we go. Here is from Saxon, the one, the only, Biff Byford.
So yeah. I think, as I was saying, I think he has a great ability to mix up the 80s. He knows what made us great in the 80s, and he's quite a modern engineer. He knows how to get the modern sound. So for Saxon, he blends the two styles together. The classic sounds and the new sounds. I don't think he really does that for Accept because they want a more traditional sound. But he still does great work with them. I'm looking forward to the Judas Priest album. That should be great.
I think, quite frankly, I think any band that is from the day should probably get Andy in there. I would love to see him do something with Kiss. But I would love to see somebody, Kiss work with him. I think the Priest one will be great. The book Never Surrender, that the autobiography. Talk to me about putting that together, and what was it like sort of looking at your life under the microscope? Just talk to me about that writing experience and how it is to put together an autobiography.
Well, I just did the story, really. It's not really a Saxon book. It's my book. We're talking to people now to do a Saxon book. But, I think if you've had an interest in life, it's good to put it down on paper. There's a lot of stuff we cut out. So there could be a second book on the way at some point, but it's good. It's good to you can say what you actually think rather than what other people's opinions are. That's always good.
Are there people in your life that read it and were either upset or were like, "Hey, what are you putting that in there for?"
Quite a lot of people actually. Lars read the book. Lars Ulrich read the book, and we got together shortly after that, and I think maybe the book had a lot to do with Metallica and Saxon meeting up again.
Yeah, you've actually done a few.
I think. Pardon? I think it's good that people do read the book, that are in it, and find out what I said about them. Really, I think that's pretty cool.
Correct me if the quote is wrong, but you essentially said that Saxon was the Iron Maiden that went wrong. In what sense do you think that Saxon went wrong?
I don't remember that quote in the book, but it might be something like they got one away. They got away from us in 83, 84. But I just think that they had a fantastic team around them, and still do have actually, and I think that made it a bit better. I don't think they were surrounded by yes men, if you know what I'm saying. Where I think we were surrounded a little bit by fawning yes men a little bit, and we lost our way a little bit in the way that we wrote songs and the way we recorded songs. It would have been better if we'd have stayed with a winning team, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing I mean. It's not particularly anything to do with musically or fashion or anything. It's just a matter of, I think they had the right team at the right place at the right time. They really went for it in America. And we sort of, probably went like 50% for America. You have to remember that we were probably bigger in Europe at that time. So, it's just how it goes, really. It's just a look of the draw.
Yeah, and I did want to explore that because there are some bands that seem to be sort of more European. You look at the band Europe, are certainly more successful, nowadays in Europe, and Thunder and Saxon and what was it about the American market that was difficult for you to overcome and reach the success of a Def Leppard? And
well, you're asking the wrong person.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, we certainly had the songs, Power and the Glory. I mean, Wheels of Steel, Strong Arm of the Law, Princess of the Night, Denim and Leather. And I just think it was the record company and the general team that surrounded us. There is no reason why Saxon shouldn't have been a multi-platinum album in America. No reason whatsoever, apart from probably our own naivety.
The other bands that I've asked a question to, they've always said, well, we had our European management and we never bothered getting American management, and we probably should have.
No, but that's not true in our case. We had American management. I just think, Power of the Glory was high in the Billboard charts, and Crusader was as well. We just didn't manage to get to the platinum club, that's all. It's as simple as that, But that doesn't mean to say that we don't have a lot of fans in America. I mean, this tour we're doing now, we've just done 3,500 people on the West Coast, and, it's fantastic. So we have a lot of fans out there, and we have a growing fan base of younger fans as well. So, it's great, really.
It really is.
So we don't have any regrets,
Nor should you, quite frankly. Anybody with a 40-year career in this business deserves nothing but accolades, quite frankly. It's a tough one. Denim and Leather, the album. That is sort of the one where, when I was growing up, it piqued my interest. And now you're 4 albums in at this time, so for me in Canada, that was the one that went, oh, well, who's this band? Talk to me about going into the studio and making that album, and what did it mean in terms of career for you?
Well, the thing is, at that time, between 80 and 80, well, between 80 and 81, just that 1 year period there, we did 3 albums, Wheels of Steel, Strong Arm of the Law, and Denim and Leather. And I suppose we were a little bit like a songwriting factory at that time. We'd go on tour, come back and write songs, and then go on tour and come back and write songs. So pretty much as we do now, really. So yeah, we were just knocking them out, and I was just coming up with these great anthemic titles and melodies, and the boys were coming up with the great guitar riffs. So everything was really gelling, So nothing I can say really. I just think that we were in a state of grace at that time, and as were a lot of bands, I mean, Judas Priest, Maiden, Whitesnake, we all had great albums at that time,
Yeah, the competition was certainly fierce at that time. There was just nothing but classic albums coming. The name, Saxon. Talk to me about the importance of a brand in terms, brand over band. Why not go out as Biff Byford, solo artist? Why not change the band's name? Talk to me about the importance of branding.
Well, I mean, branding is it's a strange thing, isn't it? Is that I mean, we're from the Motorhead point of view that every piece of artwork, every T-shirt, every logo has to look fantastic and connect with our past. We have veered off a couple of times, but when I'm putting an album together with the record company, it's important that I have the artwork has to be fantastic, the logo has to be clear, the package has to be deep with a lot of info in there, a lot of photographs. So yeah, the branding's important. I mean, people just see the S and they know it's Saxon. They don't have to have the rest of the word. The eagle connection is very strong as well. That Roman eagle thing. So when people see that, they know it's Saxon as well. So the branding is very strong at the moment, definitely.
Yeah, and of course that does bring me into The Eagle Has Landed. The album comes out in May of '82. This is the first one to feature Nigel on it.
Yeah.
What was it like at that time, 4 albums in, now the 5th album, and you're switching a band member. Did that feel strange to you at the time to not have sort of the guys?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it is strange. Especially Pete. He was a cool guy, he was my friend. So, something went wrong there with his health and a few other things. But it was sad to see Pete go, 'cause he was a fantastic drummer, and he was a great character in the band, really. So when somebody leaves or whatever, you do lose a piece of the family, really. And it takes a while to replace that piece. It really does. So who knows what would have happened if Pete had stayed in the band? You don't know, do you?
Now you really don't, and of course the drummer is sort of the foundation, right? I mean well, I mean everybody I guess has their part. Speaking of losing members of the family, the rock and roll family recently lost Chuck Berry. Did he have any effect on you in terms of playing style or
love Chuck
inspiring?
Berry. I mean, when I was first in a band, I used to play bass in a friend of mine's band, and we used to do quite a lot of Chuck Berry songs. Johnny Be Good and Maybelline and all that. He was a great lyricist, actually. People don't realise how great a lyric writer he was. All those songs, lyrically, they make so much sense. And even the comedy songs, like my safety belt wouldn't budge, riding along in my automobile. They had some a great sense of song, I think.
Yeah, they really did. And he's going to be sorely missed. Hopefully, I know you're going to be doing a tribute to Lemmy on the next album. Maybe the album after that, there can be a Chuck Berry tribute on there.
Well, maybe we'll just cover a song and stick it on there as a bonus. That would be good. I do like some of his songs,
Yeah, and Roll Over Beethoven could use a metal.
I'm starting a solo album soon. Maybe I'll do it on there. That might be good.
Oh, so talk to me.
That might be good.
I
might pick one of his more left field songs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you want to get it. You want to get an original one. So talk to me about this solo album. When would that come out? No solo album.
I don't know when it's going to come out. I'm talking now. I might do it on Pledge, so it's a bit special for the fans, I don't know really. Maybe. I don't know really. I've got 4 or 5 songs written, and obviously you've just given me an idea about another one. So
we're at 5.
So I don't know. Maybe this year. I don't know. Let's see really.
That's interesting. In terms of solo material, what would you do that would be different than Saxon? I mean, what musically, how would that vary?
Well, the songs I've written so far are quite sort of rock and rolly, not metal, if you know what I mean. But I have got a couple of really heavy tracks in there that I'm working on. So it'll be a mixture, really. It'll be a mixture of stuff I like. Might do a couple of acoustic tracks, maybe. I don't know. Might do something a bit off the wall. I don't know. Everything that I do, I want it to be interesting and entertaining, and that's the same with Saxon. I mean, I sort of have. It's me that picks the tracks, and it's me that puts them all together. So I want the albums to be exciting, interesting, and not boring. I don't want to be just playing music that's a shadow of our music that was in the 80s. So I would like to push the grid a bit.
That brings me to the question of, in terms of wanting to continue to make music. At this point in your career, and I've said it a couple of times now, 40 years, you could put Saxon up on the marquee and you'll still get the same amount of fans. They'll still be as excited to be there. What sort of motivates you to write 7 new songs and 5 new songs? And, in a sense, why bother?
Well, because that's the essence of music, is creating music. If you're going to be a songwriter, then you have to write songs. Yeah? There's no point having a big hit in 1981 and sitting at home and just wheeling it out every year and doing a few festivals. Yeah, that's not what we're into. That's not what we were ever into. That's why we've got 21 albums out. We're into writing songs and making albums and taking those albums out to people to play live. That's what we do. that's our life, and that's what we are, you know.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Because there are some bands, we're not going to start naming names, that do sort of live on past glories and haven't recorded an album in 10 years, and they just play the same 15 songs every summer. And
Well, some people haven't recorded the same album in 30 years. I'm saying an album in 30 years. It's just how it is, you know.
yeah.
I mean, they've obviously got day jobs.
Yeah, well, they must. I feel a little uncomfortable asking this question, but I feel it needs to be addressed. The Oliver Dawson Saxon, huge battle to get that. Is that disappointing to see them have a competing Saxon? And if
well, it doesn't compete.
Right.
It doesn't do anything really. It just plays a few little pub things and the odd small motorcycle get-togethers. It doesn't do anything really. I mean, I just think it's a sad. It's sad that they want to do that and not be in a new band, writing new material and setting the world on fire. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, the thing is, you know, we allowed them to keep that Oliver Dawson ex-Saxon just so they could, you know, go out and play and earn some money. But to tell you the truth, it's all a bit pathetic. You know?
Yeah, well, and that's what I was sort of getting to.
When they first got together, they named themselves Son of a Bitch, which was the old name of the band, which I thought was a pretty cool idea, actually. They had an album out. It was quite good. But, you know, they just wanted to use the name Saxon for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, and that's what I was getting to about the branding. It really is, you know, once you put a name up there, whether it's Kiss or whether it's Iron Maiden or, you know, the name becomes bigger than the band members sometimes, right?
Well, it is bigger, and the songs are bigger than the band members as well. You know, when you have huge songs, those songs become part of people's, you know, people's life, people's DNA, you know, and you know, we get people come up to us and say, "Oh man, I heard, you know, Denim and Leather when I was like 15 or when I was 12, and it changed my life completely, and I got into the music, and you know, and it just, you know, the music is bigger than the band as well, I think."
Yeah, you know, I can see that because when your manager Ace called and said, "Do you want to interview Biff tonight?" right away, Denim and Leather started playing in my brain on my own private brain radio, and I was like, "Well, there you go." Like it's that power of music right away. It just hits you, right? It's unbelievable. Biff,
it is one of the most powerful things in the world, really. It just lays there dormant in your head, and then wham, there it goes, you know.
do you at any point see yourself retiring and doing a farewell tour, or is this you're like Chuck Berry and you just keep going until you can't?
I'm a bit like Lemmy, you know. I just keep going. I mean, we might do a farewell tour. I don't know. But would it be our last farewell tour? I don't know.
It would be the first farewell.
I'm gonna down the Status Quo road like 14 farewell tours. Oh, Bob Dylan, you know, the everlasting farewell tour. Yeah.
Well, that seems to be the marketing ploy, whether you're the Scorpions, Ozzy Osbourne, Kiss, and the other guys you mentioned. You start one in 1981 and you keep doing a farewell tour for the next 25 years. It's good. It's a good plan. Biff, great pleasure.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you in Montreal soon.
We'd like to come. I'm going to talk to my agent.
Yeah.
Straight away. I'll get it onto him now, okay?
That sounds good to me.
Tell him. Get some fucking shows in Canada. Because we could finish in Canada, and we could fly home, couldn't we, from sort of, we could fly home from Canada. It's a short flight, actually.
Well, in fact, on the UFO tour, as you went through the state, there should have been no reason why you didn't duck into Toronto and Montreal and Ottawa.
The only reason that the tour stops in Boston is because of we have other things to do, and UFO do as well. So that's the only reason the tour stopped there. But the thing is, somebody has to buy the package, yeah? Some promoter says, yeah, I'll take a risk on that. I'll buy the package, okay? So far, I would say 99% of the shows have been full. So the package is working, and the tour America on the package was big. We're bigger now in America than we've been for a long, long time, yeah? We toured with Judas Priest, and we toured with Motorhead. We did a great tour with Armored Saint. So the profile of Saxon at the moment in America is very high. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
as high as it's been for a long, long time. So there's no reason why we shouldn't fill out shows in Canada as well.
Yeah, I fully agree, and it is you do speak to a very important truth. Is you'll see fans on Facebook or on the internet on Twitter saying, "You don't play my town," and it's like, no. Your promoter is not booking us in your town. It's not us.
That's right.
We
That's
would
not
play.
Us. No, we can't. I mean, we come and play in your living room. We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But we need the people to book us there. To have the. It's a gamble for promoters. It's difficult these times, but I will say that the Saxon UFO package is working fantastic. With the young guy on first, Gerard and James Nichols, it's great. So it's a great package, and people should book it because it's going good. Don't underestimate the power of this package because it is really great.
Well, don't underestimate the power of metal. That's what I.
But I don't know. I mean, in the last 3 years, our profile has been rising again in America because we spent more time here. Obviously in Canada, but generally we have spent more time over here in the last 3 years. So it is paying off, I think.
It really is, and I'm looking very much forward to the follow up to Battering Ram. And there you go. It's been a great pleasure.
Great. It's nice talking to you.
And we'll see you soon.
And keep the faith, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there you have it, folks. My interview with Saxon's Biff Byford. I certainly hope you enjoyed that. Please check me out on Twitter at Mitch Lafon, MITCHLAFON. And with that, I sorta bid you a fond farewell. But for the completist and or masochist, here is the first 5 minutes of my interview with the one, the only, Biff Byford. We are speaking with Biff Byford, the lead singer of the band Saxon, currently on tour in the U.S. with UFO. Good day, Biff. Pleasure to speak with you.
Yeah, it's nice to be speaking with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me about the UFO Saxon tour and how is that going? And will there be at some point another leg down the road coming for maybe through Canada?
Well, it's going really well, actually. The ticket sales are great. We're packing them in everywhere. It's a good package, actually. People like it. It's a bit, UFO from the 70s, really, and we're from the 80s. So, it's a good package. People like it. All the fans are sort of getting into all three bands, so that's good. We really like it. There could be another run in September. We're talking about it now. And, we always love to come to Canada. It would be a good package for Canada, I think.
I think it would be a great package for Canada. We haven't seen you here recently. I'm trying to think back to when it was the last time. It might have been 2015 or something, right, for the Battering Ram.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Battering Ram was, of course, the last album. It's now going on. It's 2 years. Where are we in terms of the next new album?
Well, we've recorded 7 songs already. So we're going to go in. When we finish America, we're going to go in and record the next another 3. So that should be coming out 2018. In January, we're hoping. We're trying to get it out this year, but we're too busy. So it is too goddamn successful.
Well, in fact, that is a great statement. But listen, the band has been around for 40 years. In terms of success, sort of what has kept you going for 40 years?
The fans, really. The fans, and we love to write music, so that's what keeps us going, really,
Let's look.
So we just love to write new albums.
Yeah, so let's look back to the very first album, the first Saxon album. Going into the studio for the first time with producer John Verity, what was that like for you? Young kid coming up, getting into a real professional setting.
Well, it was really exciting when we first got signed and everything. Yeah, it's quite exciting. Living in London, recording, we were recording at a guy called I can't remember his name was now. It was the guitarist in Argent. That we wrote a lot of big songs actually. So yeah, we recorded in the studio, and yeah, it was great. Really exciting. Really exciting.
It was. Is there any particular memory that you have of that album? Looking back on it now, are you sort of satisfied with how it came out?
Well, yeah, no, not really. Not really. We like the album. It's a great album. It's a great sounding album. But it was a bit mixed material because a lot of the songs had been had in a band before, and a few of the songs we wrote as the band, and a couple of songs from another band that a couple of other guys were in. So it was a bit of a mishmash, that first album. It wasn't really to Wheels of Steel that we started writing, all the songs as a band, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to gel in the studio. Now, I'm going to jump around a bit, but you did mention that you had 7 new songs ready for the next album, and I do know that you've used Andy Sneap, good old Andy Sneap, on the last couple. Will you record again with Andy?
It won't like you're calling him old. It won't like you calling him old.
No, I didn't say old.
Old Andy Sneap, yeah.
Well,
I'll be joking.
But he's to me, he really is sort of the sound of the new metal, in the sense that the stuff he's done with you with Battering Ram and the album before that, the stuff that he's done with Accept, and I can just imagine what he's doing with Judas Priest right now. It's probably going to be phenomenal. Mm-hmm. What is it about Andy that sort of gets the best out of the band?
Well, he's a big fan of the 80s stuff. Is Andy, and he sort of knows what's great about the 80s. But saying that, he's very modern as well. He does a lot of other bands. He did Crossroads Engage. He's done a lot of sort of quite modern bands. So he has that ability to mix it together. I don't think he really mixes it together too much with Accept, because they're a bit more traditional than we are. Judas Priest, but I think.
And that, folks, is how that first part ended. Just mid-sentence. Bye-bye. No more Biff. Anyway, I'm glad we got him back on the phone. We got to finish the conversation, and thank you for listening. And wow, whew, oh my, that first part that we just stuck at the end here was quite a challenge to get through. But thanks for sticking around. Check me out at Mitch Lafon on Twitter and Instagram, and Google me for everything else. Bye for now.